All right. Shalom. First of all, before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash, and also as well, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. They continually rule very well to this very day. That is feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And also as well, a shalom to the hope elect as well, that's continually laboring his work. And also I do labor to show forth your diligence to make your calling and election sure, and faith and truth is sincere, and also in all charity. Right? Now, before I begin, man, just go ahead and just jump into the spirit. Is that, right now we're in a time to where, prophecy is speaking loud and clear. Okay? Prophecy is right before our very eyes, and these people, they have no clue what's going on around the world, man. And basically it's due to the shroud of darkness that's put about across the land of America and also other parts of the world too. Okay, and that's the reason why. And really, when you look at the essence of it, is that Yahweh Ba Shimon Shai has poured out that spirit of darkness upon these people. Okay, where they're not able to see the things that are going on. Man. All right, and actually, just to start off with, first I'm gonna grab the book of Isaiah, and I'm gonna start at verse 29. Yeah, so this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, and I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 10. All right, it says, "For the Lord have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your lips and your seers have you covered." All right, because see now we're in a time where they can't. These people today, they can't discern, who really the men of the Lord are, man. All right, they can't discern, who the true men of the Lord are. They can't discern the prophecies. Okay, and they can't discern, who the real enemy is, man. When I say the enemy, I'm talking about Esau. All right, Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, that is what the scriptures have deemed this man as the wicked. Okay, and actually, let me grab another precept here. It should be in the book of Psalms. Well, actually, I'm gonna get it's like first I'm gonna get the book of Sirach, chapter 10, and verse 2, because it also plays a big part about who's really in rulership. Okay, because when you have a specific person that's in rulership, then guess what? That same spirit that person is in is going to be dished out towards the people that are underneath their rule. Okay, now it's the book of Sirach, Salakia. Right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. Okay, it says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers." All right, so the judge of the people, and who's today is judging these people today, or who will be in the seat of power today, who is able to govern the minds of the people. All right, and to also put into legislations, things that they want in their heart to do. Okay, because when the scripture is reading right here, when it says, "As the judge of the people," all right, as the judge of the people is himself, so his officers. In other words, the current government that is put up under a certain people that's in rulership, okay, they're going to operate in that same spirit, okay. And as you can see, when you look around, the spirit out throughout the soils of America is not of the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, it's not the spirit of the scriptures. Okay, because in today's world, the powers that be, they basically put out legislations, all right, to allow homosexuality to run rampant, man. All right, they let homosexuals run rampant. All right, they let transgenderism, be the height of the society. All right, because you can't say anything, all right, to a person that's quote unquote transgender without getting locked up or facing some sort of fine, man. All right, and that's what America brings, man. It basically is not founded on the laws of the scriptures, all right? Because they say that this place was founded right underneath the laws of the Bible, right? But really, this place was founded underneath the laws of the ones that was in power today, which again is Esau. Okay, because everything, once again, everything that's perpetuated here in this land right now. I mean, if you read throughout the whole entire scriptures, I mean, everything that's written within the Bible is completely contrary to what's being pushed out today, man. All right. Why? Because right now, this place has been set up in this time today, all right, to play that part. Okay, so I'm gonna read it again. It's Sirach, chapter 10, and it's at verse 2. It says, "And as the judge of the people is himself, so is his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein." See, and that's the point. All right. So as the ruler of the people, like it says here, so are the ones who are dwelling underneath that ruler. Okay, and they're going to be in like manner. Okay. So as you can see, the man who was in rulership today, all right, Esau, Edom, all right, which they go by today as the so-called white man. Guess what? He's in rulership, and now you see everything that's being perpetuated here in America today. Okay, and that now you see the continence of the people falling, man. Okay, their continence is filled with darkness, man. When you look at these people walk around, man, you see nothing but darkness on them, man. You see nothing but wickedness and all manner of evil on these people, man. Okay, and the reason why is because the ones who is in rulership, the one who is giving them credence, so to speak, to do whatever it is they listed. That's why the vibration is being pushed out in America today is the vibration of "do as thou wilt." Okay, in other words, that vibration has been pushed out for years and years on end, man. To the spirit of "do as thou wilt." Okay, do it if it feels good, all right, without having some sort of repercussions for it. But the Lord, right now, He's looking down from the heavens and He's observing everything that's going on here on the planet Earth, man. Okay, He's observing the works of wickedness. He's observing the wicked. He's observing the people, all right, and He's observing, all right, even the ones who's in power, man. All right, everything, man. The Lord has eyes everywhere. He even tells you in the same book, in the book of Sirach, that the eyes of the Lord power are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the works of men. All right, and just like back during the time of Noah, and we keep harping on the time of Noah every time, man, because right now that event that took place during the time of Noah when he built the ark is indicative and is also similar to what's going on today, man. Because during that time, the Lord observed all the works of men, all right, and all the works of men were what? Continually evil, man. Their minds were set on evil continually. And the Lord basically just hit the reset button, okay? He hit the reset button by bringing about the flood, man, okay? And see, now that's playing a part today where the minds of the people are set on evil continually, okay? And that now is that the Lord is about to press the reset button once again, man. Okay, He's about to press the reset button once again, and He's about to do a complete do-over for the planet Earth, man. Okay, and guess what? The ones who are looked at now as on the bottom, all right, that's at the bottom of the totem pole, all right, that's at the lowest of all the nations, all right. Guess what? They're going to be brought back on top, and the ones who are sit down, the lowest of the nations is our people, man. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Okay, you're the ones who are been downtrodden for so many years, okay, and has faced the repercussions of just even living, man. All right, you can't even live without being scrutinized, or whatever, by the ones who was over you, man. All right, and that's true oppression. And guess what, man? At the end of the day, our people love that, man. They love to be continually oppressed and having to go about the dealings of Esau, man. Basically having to do their own, business or what have you, just to live and to survive, man. All right, and that's basically what it is today. Now the people are at a point to where now they have to survive by any means necessary. Okay, and the reason why is because this current society that's here today is deteriorating, man. All right, and it's no different than what took place during the time of the Roman Empire. Because during the time of the Roman Empire, guess what? You had a decline of society, man. All right, and during the time of the Roman Empire, you had the military that was spread out too thin. All right, the Roman military was spread out to each part of the known world. Okay, and during that time, all right, they also were overtaken because why? Because for one thing, the military is spread too thin. All right, they were indulging themselves in bread and circus. All right, and that's no different than today. You have nothing but bread and circus. You have entertainment. All right, to quell the minds of the people, and to keep them away from what's really going on. Okay, and not just that, but just that whole empire in itself was delving into decadence. All right, into decadence, into being comfortable, you know, and really that's one of the major reasons why the Roman Empire fell because when you're in a place of comfort, all right, you're more than likely to be overtaken by something, all right, because you're not on guard, and that's what happened to the Roman Empire. They were so far up uh, the power ladder, so to speak, to the point to where they didn't even know that they that their power had dwindled, man. And guess what? They were taken down. So likewise with America today, which is Babylon the Great, America is going to be taken down in like manner, man. America now is prepped and primed to be destroyed, man. Okay. Now, again, read as Sirach, hop back into the scripture. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 12. It says, what's like it? Verse 2. The Sirach chapter 10 verse 2, it says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such as are all they that dwell therein. See that? So again, so even as the ruler of the people is, so are the ones who are dwelling therein, man. Okay? So the people that are here today, guess what, man? They're just gone, man. They're gone. They have no idea what's really going on, man. They have no idea the coming danger which is coming today, man. Okay? So I'm gonna move up from there. So it's the book of I had the book of Sirach. Let me grab the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. Okay. Job, Slakia. Right. Job chapter 9, and this is at verse 24. And this is scripture that we all know, and this applies today, man. All right. The reason why it still applies today because the same man, again, that same oppressor that I'm speaking about, which again is Esau Edom. Okay. He he has done nothing but rape, rob, and murder the planet Earth, man. All right. And this scripture tells you, also gives you a sign, who's in power today, man. All right. It's obvious. This is Job chapter 9, and this is at verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? And that's the Lord being facetious, man. All right, he's saying, look, if it's not the so-called white man Esau, who is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, I'm gonna get that here in a little bit too. Then where and who is he, man? Who's the wicked? Where is the wicked located if it's not him? All right, because he has dominion over the planet Earth today, man. He has control over where the money goes, man. He has control over how much money is printed. All right, the FRNs. He has control over the lands, the territories. Okay, even the governments, man. Okay, so that lets you know who's in power, man. All right, and again, that lets you know that the wicked is in power. All right, because it said, like I just read earlier in Sirach, the 10th chapter in the second verse, is that such as the ruler of the people, all right, such as the ruler of the people, so it is that people. All right. The ruler of the people, guess what? The people are gonna follow in that same vibration, man. So that lets you know that the wicked are in rulership today. Because why? Because the minds of the people, again, like I said earlier, are the minds of the people are fully engrossed in our darkness, man. All right, the minds of the people are fully set on wickedness, man. Okay, But we'll move on from there. Let me get the book of Malachi, chapter 1. All right, it's the book of Malachi, chapter 1, and I'm going to start at verse 4. Okay? It says, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places," and they've done that, man. Okay? The Edomites, they have returned back into power, and guess what? Now they're starting to build back up their empire once again, man, where they had complete control over everything, in which, to a certain extent, they do have control over what you see right now. But right, they're trying to take it to a whole nother level, to the point to where now it's like they're taking it right now to the point to where they want control over you. All right, they want control over what you eat, what you drink, what you're watching. All right, what programs that you tune into. Okay, where you're going, where you shop at, everything, man, and they're doing it by way of the mark of the beast, which the RFID microchip. Okay, and which indeed, when the scriptures speak about the mark of the beast in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, it's talking about the mark of the beast, man. That we the camp of Great Millstone, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down to the rest of the brothers. All right, we've been bringing out the prophecy concerning the mark of the beast headstrong, man. And when you look at it, really, man, Great Millstone is the only camp that's even bringing out the mark of the beast and what that really is, man. Okay, and what and also as far as prophecy as well, man. Basically, we're the camp that deals with prophecy, man, because we're in that time right now. Okay, we're in a time of prophecy. We're in a time of these different things happening on a wide scale, man. And as we've been speaking on these things, guess what? They've been happening left and right, man. Okay, but back to Malachi chapter 1, and this is at verse 4 again. It says, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them," this is the point, "and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever." See, and that's the point, okay? Because the Lord right now has indignation against the wicked, the border of wickedness, like the scriptures say, which is who? The Edomites, man. Okay? The Edomites, Esau, the so-called white man. We're going to call him what he is, man, because that his nationality has been covered for so long, is that he's still trying to hide, man. He's still trying to hide his nationality. He's trying to hide who he really is. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shimon Shai, guess what, man? You've been found out through the spirit, man. All right? You've been found out through the lenses of Yahweh Shimon Shai, man. All right? And you've been found on the charges of rape, rob, and murder, man. All right? Of the planet Earth, man. You've been basically, the charges against Esau is crimes against life itself, man. That's his real. That's the charges that's put against Esau. Okay, but he's not going to admit that. All right, why? Because what he thinks he's doing is conducive to life. But yeah, here it is. You allow immorality to run rampant here in America. All right, you still deforesting the planet Earth. All right, you're cutting down the trees. You're continuing to build cities. All right, more emissions are being put out, and here it is. This man, and it shows you that he has a forked tongue, man, because as he's made a campaign to basically reduce emissions. Okay, but guess what? That's not working out so well. Okay, why? Because even though this man puts out certain emissions, right? Or this man, tried to put out um, try to promote, not putting out any sort of emissions, right? But guess what, man? No matter what you do, this man is still, destroying the planet Earth, man. All right, wherever he does, man, it's either one thing or another. It's either he tried to stop one area of destruction, and guess what? He just goes right into a next phase in destruction, man. Okay. Wherever this man goes, man, it's nothing but destruction, man. The scripture tell you that blood is going to pursue Esau. Actually, let me see if I can get that real quick. Um, yeah, I'm done with this scripture. But yeah, like it says in Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, it says he's known as the border wickedness. All right. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the next precept I want to grab real quick. The book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel, chapter. Man, hit me out here. Just like that. It's like, but it's just the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35. Bear with me for a moment. This is Ezekiel chapter 35, and this is at verse. I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 6. This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 6. It says, "Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shemel Shai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee." So right now, blood is pursuing this man. Okay, why? Because there's absolutely nothing he can do to quell the wrath of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. I'm gonna read it again. This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Right, actually verse 6. Like it said, "Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Seeth thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee." See, that's really, man. That scripture tells you that no matter where he runs to, man, he cannot run from the judgment of Yahweh by Shemel Shah. Okay, there's no way where he can escape anymore, man. Because wow, again, uh, uh, um, he's been found out, man. Okay, he's been found out. All right, he's been exposed to who he really is, and now it's gonna get to a point to where, he's just gonna have to bring the sword, man. Okay, why? Because after deceiving the people for so long, which is one of his main attributes. Okay, guess what? Also, as well, another attribute that he has is what? The sword. All right, because that's the blessing that was given to him, man. All right, and the scripture tell you that his blessing is the sword. And guess what? He's going to use that sword to the fullest extent. Okay, he's going to use that sword to basically bring down his edicts, his legislation, man. Okay, and the legislation, that one of the main legislations which lines up with scripture and prophecy is what? The mark of the beast. Okay, because when he usher in the microchip, then that's going to go on to further solidify his agenda, his new world order. Okay, so again, like it says here, blood is pursuing this man. So no matter where he goes to, blood's still going to continue to pursue him, and to the point to where blood's going to catch up to him, man. Okay, now we get the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. All right, so 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and we'll start at verse 3. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." All right. So right now we're in a time where the shroud of deception is being lifted up off the soils of America, man. And that's being done through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemion Shah by way of his men. Okay? So like it says here, it says there shall come a falling away first, and that man of sin will be revealed, man. So in other words, that falling away came first, right? And when did we fall away? We fell away when the Romans came after us. It was during the Roman onslaught of 70 A.D. Okay, that's when we started to fall away. Okay, and we started to lose our heritage, all right, the doctrine. Okay, and also as well, you know, when we went into harsh captivity, that's when our nationality was beat out of us, man. It was physically beat out of us. We didn't know who or who we really were, man. Okay. But now, after he beat the nationality out of us, man, he basically, took away our nationality, took away our heritage. Even they have an arch, the Ark of Titus, which commemorates the downfall of our people, man. Them taking us down, man. That shows you how proud this devil is, man. Okay. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and I'm starting at verse 3 again. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." So the man of sin right now is being revealed, man. Okay, and it's being revealed through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemel Shah. Okay, but again by way of his men, because the Lord has set forth his men to bring out this word and to reveal certain things through the spirit, man. Okay, and really when you bring out the scriptures, really the word itself is exposing this man. All right, and actually, let's see, Slock. Yeah, actually, if I read further into the 2 Thessalonians, is going to go into it. It says, verse 4, it says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he is the Most High, sitting in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High." Okay, you see that? So, and that's verse 5. It says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know that withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time." So right now, this man is being revealed in his time. Okay, and how do we know that? Again, is by way of the prophecies, man. Okay, because this man only has so long to run away from the truth, man, and that's why the video that was taken down, right? It further exposes who he really is, man. Okay, because the truth right now is exposing this man. Okay, so again, in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and start at verse 4 again. It says, "And who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that's called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he is the Most High, sitting in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High." All right, you see that? And that's why when you look at it today, all right, even the ones who are in the land of Israel today, right, which they go by Jewish, right, which if you go into the word Jewish, ish means to be like something. Okay, because what they do in that land, basically is not upholding the scriptures, because what they follow is the Talmud. Okay, they don't follow the Torah, in which the Torah is what the Torah is the first books of the Old Testament, or the first few books of the Old Testament. They don't follow that, and what's a part of the Torah is what the law. Okay, so they don't follow the law, man. Because they have their own law, which again is the Talmud. Okay, and they follow that rather than the Bible, and that lets you know that the people that are there today in that land, those aren't the people of the Lord. Man. Okay, so back in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and I'm starting verse 5 again. It says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time." And again, he's being revealed in his time. Okay, verse 7 says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work." So the mystery of iniquity is already working, man. Okay, it's working to this very day, and it's like I got notifications. Back up. Okay, it's like, but yeah, I'm gonna read that again just to get back into the spirit. Back in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and this is at verse 6. It says, "And now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way." You see that? So again, it says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work," man. All right, and it says, "He that who would let it will now let until he be taken out of the way." So again, the Lord is allowing certain things to come to pass. All right, to the point to where he's just completely taken away, man. Okay, into the point to where the current power that you see today, all right, is being taken down by the hands of the Lord, man. Okay, and again, what you're seeing right now is this scenario that the Lord has set, all right, to bring about not only the destruction of Babylon the Great, but also salvation. Because right now you're about to witness the climax of this current scenario that we're living today. This current scene that you see right now. All right, now you're about to witness the climax to that, man. And the climax is the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai. See, and the people don't understand, man. All this what you're seeing right now is a buildup to the coming of our Lord, man. Because the coming of our Lord is going to be dramatic. Okay, it's going to be dramatic to the point to where it's not gonna ever be another time other than this time today, man. Okay, it's never going to be another time to where you're you, you're seeing right now with the prophets out being out on the highways and byways, continuing to bring out this word. Why? Because like the scriptures say, it says that in that time when we're in the kingdom, it says we're all going to be righteous. Okay, we're all going to be righteous. We're all going to know the law, and we're all going to keep the law to 100% of its entirety, man, without going off. All right, and the Lord's going to make sure that by bringing forth the prophecy concerning us going into the new covenant. All right, because right now we're being led into the time of the final covenant, or the second covenant. All right, or should I say the covenant, which is spoken of concerning the law, statutes, and commandments being on the inward parts. Okay, uh, right. And so read on in verse 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed," which again, that wicked is Esau, Edom, so-called white man. Um, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. So that lets you know that this man is in power, and there's been numerous amounts of information has been coming out showing you that this man's power is from the left hand side. All right, it comes from the left hand side. Okay, which again, I'll read again. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. It says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders." Okay, but at verse 8, it says again, it says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." See, once again, man, the Lord right now is about to destroy this man physically, but right now he's destroying this man spiritually. Okay, he's destroying this man spiritually by again through the spirit of his mouth. Okay, because this word, again, like I mentioned earlier, this word condemns this man. Okay, it condemns this man for who he really is, man. All right, because even if you read, I believe it's 2 Peter, where it says this word is compared to a two-edged sword. Okay, and that two-edged sword does what else does that two-edged sword does? And I believe I said 2 Peter, but Salaki, I mean Hebrews. It speaks about that two-edged sword, and that two-edged sword is able to do what? Is able to discern the thoughts and intents of the heart. Okay, so when this word is being brought out to this man, all right, especially Esau, guess what? It reveals the thoughts and intents of the heart. Okay, it actually reveals who this man really is, because when the word comes out, then that's when his true colors actually come out, man. When his word comes out, he actually shows his true colors and he shows his horns, man, and he lets you know who he really is, man. Okay, so yeah, that's it on that. Let me get the book of Second Ezra's. It's like, bear me for a minute. We get the book of Second Ezra's, chapter 6. Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 9. Right, it's the book of Second Ezra's, chapter 6. Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 9. Actually, I'm gonna start at verse 8. All right, Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 8. It says, "And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau." All right, and I'm gonna get that in a little bit, because the whole dynamic of the birth of Jacob and Esau, that in itself was a sign unto things to come. All right, because the birth of Jacob and Esau was to signify the end times. Okay, and that's what you see right now. So again, it says here in verse 8, it says, "He said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau." Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. All right, you see that? So Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Right? Because if you go to the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, it's like Genesis 25th chapter. Right, Genesis 25th chapter, and I'm gonna start at 24. It says, yep, in verse 24, Genesis chapter 25, verse 24. It says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment. Just to give context on the scriptures, this is the birth of Jacob and Esau. Okay, when they were birthed by our forefather Isaac, and they were birthed by Isaac and Rebekah. All right, and it tells you as well. I believe it says further in the scripture. Yeah. I'm going to start a few verses up. Verse 21 it says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived, and the children struggled together within them. Okay, so the children struggled in the womb of Rebekah, man. All right, and guess what, man? That struggle is still going on to this very day. Okay, that same struggle in the womb is going on to this very day, man. Why? Because you see contention between the so-called white man, all right, and the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right, and that vibration is being ramped up, man. Okay, that vibration of that same struggle, okay, is being elevated, man. And Yahweh Shimon Shah is the one who is elevating that the contention, man. It's elevating those tensions between Jacob and Esau, because again, this is the appointed time to where now the Lord is allowing prophecy to speak. Okay, now is the time where the Lord is allowing certain things which were spoken about in the scriptures to come to pass, man. And the prophecy concerning the rulership of Jacob, all right, that is going to be the end result of what you see today, man. Okay, that's going to be the end result of prophecy. All right. So so again, it says here. So again, it says Genesis chapter 25, and this is at verse 22 again. It says, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmil Shai, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. All right, and that lets you know that the whole notion of the whole vibration of, locking arms, coming together, all that's played out, man. All right, it's played out, and it's not of the spirit of Yahweh Bashmil Shai, man. That's why the Lord now is allowing those tensions to build up again, man. All right, because those tensions between Jacob and Esau, they're not going to be quelled till the one overtakes the other, man. Okay, again, going back to the struggle in the womb. So again, it says, right, it says the children struggle within them. She said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from their bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Okay? So, I believe we read on, right? It's like at verse 25, said, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. All right? So, the one that came out first, right? And the point is that the one who comes out first is going to be the one to serve. Okay? Actually, I believe it says it's like I might have skimmed over. Yeah, verse 23. I'm gonna read it again. It says, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, And the one people shall be stronger than the other, right? And it's a point. It says, and the elder shall serve the younger. So it says it was prophesied that the elder was going to serve the younger. So like it says at verse 25, it says the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Okay. Now in the Hebrew word Esau, the Hebrew word is Ishash. Okay, or Isha, which means wasted away, is he. Okay, and the reason why he's been given the name Esau, or wasted away is he, is because he came out red all over, just like a hairy garment. Okay, in other words, he didn't have any sort of pigmentation in his skin. Okay, and they gave him his name because they thought that he was wasted away. Why? Because his pigmentation was gone. I believe it says the same thing with the account we're having to Miriam, and then Moses, prayed to the Lord. He forsook the he sought towards the Lord to to not allow Miriam to be as one as the dead. Okay. Now, why would Moses said not allow Miriam to be as one who was dead? Okay. Why? Because that was when she was cursed. All right. She was cursed with what? Leprosy. All right. She lost her pigmentation. Okay. And from that point on, she was regarded as one who was dead, man. All right. She was regarded as one who was wasted away. Okay. So same thing with Esau. Esau was what? He was given that name Esau because he is wasted away. Not only is that on a physical level, but it's also spiritual as well. Because this man, what he does, he wastes away the planet Earth, man. Okay. Even his name tells you what he was going to do in the end, man. All right. It's basically him being known as wasted away, or Esau. Guess what? The earth was also going to waste away underneath the power structure of this man. Okay. So yeah, I believe that's it on that. Genesis chapter 25. It's like actually, it's a little bit more. Verse 26, it says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 old when she bare them. Okay, so the heel, or the holding of the heel, was representation of what was going to happen in the latter times, man. Okay, because if you go back to Second Ezra chapter 6, if I can get it real quick. Right, back at Second Ezra chapter 6. This is back at verse 9. It says, actually, slack at verse 8. It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So that's the reason why the whole dynamic happened between Jacob and Esau. Basically, when Jacob held the heel of Esau, like it says in verse 9, it says Esau is the end of the world, right? And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So the world to come after Esau was going to be a world under Jacob. Okay, and because why? Because the promises was given over to Jacob. All right, the blessings that were meant for Esau, guess what? They were given to Jacob, and the reason why is because that whole dynamic. And again, the reason why is because those two nations. All right, like it says in Genesis chapter 25, it says that those two nations are going to be separated. Okay, because if you go to Genesis the 27th chapter, right? It's like, bear me while I get it. Genesis chapter 27, and it's also that that Esau, he when he lost his blessing, all right. Guess what? Esau has done nothing but wept. All right, he's done nothing but mourn because he's lost the blessing. All right, but there's a reason why he lost the blessing. The reason why is because if you can receive it, all right, Esau is the reincarnation of Cain. Okay, and that's the same individual that you see today, the so-called white man. Okay, Cain came back in the reincarnation as Esau. All right, so therefore, the judgment that was supposed to be given to Cain, guess what? It's going to be played out right before your very eyes, man. Okay, and the the reason why the Lord said that he who toucheth Cain, all right, judgment shall be given unto the sevenfold, because the Lord is setting Cain aside for him to be judged by Yahweh by Shemiel Shai. Okay, so that's the reason why the Lord marked Cain, and really he marked Cain. If you can receive it, he marked Cain with the mark of leprosy. Okay, he lost his pigmentation. He became red again, red all over like a hairy garment. Okay, and that lets you know that him that see him, all right, they're gonna know that that's Cain. Okay, so likewise today, man, you see the so-called white man, and it's people think it's normal to see this man walk around in this fashion, but really, man, they got the mark on him, man. They got the mark of Cain. Okay, because Cain is to be judged by Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, so this is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, and I'm sorry, at verse 33. It says, "And Isaac trembled very exceedingly," and this when Isaac, our forefather, gave the blessing of the dominion of the planet Earth over to Jacob. Okay. Now, verse 33 again says, "And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten all before." Like, read again, it says, "And brought it me, and I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed." Okay, so Isaac, in which we all know the reincarnation of Isaac and who he really is, all right. Basically, that blessing that was given to Jacob was cemented when he said that, man. He said, "And yea, he shall be blessed." Okay, so it's been cemented that the dominion and rulership was going to be given over to Jacob, which again represents you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay, which you are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. Okay, again, just like it back at Genesis chapter 27, verse 34, it says, "And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father." See that? And that's why today, man, Esau, whenever you bring a certain occasion to these Edomites and you expose them for who they really are, guess what? They give off a bitter cry, man. How do we know? Because whenever we bring out the word, all right, and give them their judgment and tell them what's about to happen to them, guess what? They buck up against it, man. And they naturally buck up against it. Why? Because they're still crying, giving that bitter cry because the blessing has been given over to the nation of Israel, man. All right? So that's why now, and they put a petition of saying, well, we didn't do it. Our fathers did it. Well, guess what? You are your fathers, man. All right? You are your fathers coming back. Everybody now is back today playing their prospective roles, man. Everybody is back today playing the roles what they're supposed to play. And guess what? This man now is in a position to be overtaken and destroyed, man. All right? Because again, this is the appointed time to where now the Lord is about to bring down heavy judgment on every soul, man. And it tells you in the book of Ecclesiastes, the last chapter, it tells you that everyone's going to receive the things which are done in their body, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Okay? So guess what? It's a reward coming back. All right? The reward can be either a good reward or it can be a bad reward, man. All right? And that's why now, you know, those of you that are tuning in and listening, man, to the ones who have taken hold of this word, guess what? You're in a great position right now, man. All right? When you're taking in the words of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, you're in a beautiful position. Okay? Why? Because right now you're in the midst of the spirit of Yahweh Shemiel Shai. Okay? And the Lord right now is bringing in the fold which He wants to bring in. All right, and He's bringing about and He's gathering His elect, man. All right, so to be under the shadow of Yahweh Shemiel Shah, it will behoove you to be to tune in to this word, man. All right, because these people that are out today that are not hearkening to the words of Yahweh Shemiel Shah, they have no refuge, man. They don't have no any type of clothing or any type of protection for the times to come, man. And those times are coming, man. Jacob's trouble, all right, when it's written about in Jacob's trouble, man, the Lord is not, tiptoeing around the fact that this man's going to come down with great wrath, man. He's letting you know that, look, this man's about to come down with the greatest wrath conceivable, man. Okay? And Lord's will, I'm going to jump right into it. But I'm going to go on from there. I got Genesis 27 chapter. I'm going to skip down to verse 37. I'm going to go ahead and jump on over to Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7, man, because these people believe it's a game, man. They believe that the Lord is just this passive power that's just sitting in the heavens, just looking down at everybody and just letting bygones be bygones, man. But the Lord is reserving wrath to this place, Babylon the Great, man. Okay? So it's the book of Genesis. It's like it. Book of Genesis, back in Genesis chapter 27, this is at verse 37. It says, And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Okay, so Isaac, our forefather, gave him the blessing, right? And Esau was just left out how to drive, man, and for good reason, man. Okay, look what he did with the birthright, man. Would you trust the dominion and the planet over to somebody who, basically can't wait for can't be patient with anything, and not just that, with the birthright, you basically Esau gave away his birthright, which is something that's sacred to Yahweh Shemel Shai, and gave that up just to eat, man. All right, and guess what? Guys that were in this truth, all right, that went back into the world. Guess what, man? They're following that same spirit, man. All right, they don't understand the severity of the truth, man. Okay, how do we know? Because what is left out there in the world for you, man? Basically, you gave up your seat, man. Okay, you gave up your seat and you went back into the world. Now, there's nothing left for them, man. Okay, but going back to verse 38, it says, And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me, also, O my father. And Esau lift up his voice and wept. You see, and that's the thing, man. Esau is going to continue to lift up his voice and to weep until the time where he's just completely taken out of rulership, man. Okay? And Esau is doing that to this very day, man. He's still weeping and crying. He's still weeping and crying to the Lord to give him that blessing, man. All right, but guess what? The Lord is no longer hearing Esau, man. Why? Because he has laid his hands on the children of Israel, man. He put his hands on the apple of the Lord's eye, man. And the scriptures tell you that Israel is the apple of the Lord's eye. And what do you think that a power is going to do to someone who has touched the apple of his eye, man? He's going to destroy them off the face of the earth, man. Okay? Uh, Back in Genesis, once again, verse 27, verse 39, it says, And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And see, and that's the key thing, man, is that the blessing that was given unto Esau out of all that, all right, through the spirit of the Lord, and that's the Lord gave him that blessing, man. All right, that he gave him the blessing of the sword, all right, and he said, by thy sword thou shalt live, man. Okay, and that's why this man's power is what? By the sword, man. And he uses that sword to bring about certain edicts and certain pieces of legislation. Okay, and that's why you see now everywhere this man goes, it's nothing but wars and bloodshed, man. Why? Because he when he goes around to conquer, he uses the sword, man. Which is no different than the Greco-Roman era, man. Okay, the Greeks and the Romans, in which they were Edomites. Okay, they rule with the iron fist, man. Okay, they rule with the power of the iron, man. And that's why when you go into the scriptures and the prophecy, it speaks about the beast that was compared to with iron teeth. All right, why? Because their strength was really the iron, and that's where they got their power from. Okay, so again, back at verse 40, it says, And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, which is who? Jacob. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. See, so when this man has a dominion, he's going to break the yoke from off his neck, and he actually did that, man. And it's been a process of the back and forth between Jacob and Esau, okay? Because back then, during that time, it was the Greeks and the Romans who were in power, okay? And then Jacob overcame Esau through prophecy, all right? And our people came into power, right, for a period of over 1,000 years, right? And then from that point on, guess what? They came back into power and their rulership to this very day, man. Okay? But yeah, that's it on that. Actually, Slock, let me keep going. Get this last verse, and we go ahead and jump to the next precept. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. See? And that's why you still have animosity to this very day between Jacob and Esau, between the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans against the so-called white man. That's why you see that fight still continuing to this very day as of 2021, man. Okay? But keep going slightly. See where I'm at right now. I'm going from there. The spirit passed on Jeremiah chapter 30. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Revelation chapter 20, verse 2. And like I said, you know, that the power struggle has been going on even to the beginning of when they were conceived, man. Okay? That struggle in the womb is still going on to this very day, man. It's Revelation chapter 2, verse 20. Right. Revelation chapter 2, verse 20 is like me. Grab a swig of water. But again, you know, that struggle between the two, Jacob and Esau, you know, it's really going to get to a point to where the end, like it says in 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9, is that Jacob is going to be the beginning of the world that follows after Esau. Okay? So Esau would have to have the dominion of the planet Earth first before Jacob can receive his, man. Okay? And it was all set up through the Spirit. Why? Because I believe it was brought out last weekend, right? Concerning, well, last Friday actually, is that the things that you're seeing right now here in America are things which are teaching lessons. All right? You know, basically this whole scenario that you see, that the propping up of Babylon the Great is a teaching moment to show you what not to do against Yahweh about Shemel Shah, man. All right? That's like it. But yeah, like I said, Babylon the Great is you know, basically it's been um, set up to show you what wickedness really is like, man, or what happens when you allow wickedness to rule over the planet Earth. Okay, and you're seeing the byproduct. You're seeing the byproduct of that right now. The byproduct of America being set up and being having dominion over the planet Earth. It shows you, you know, basically how deteriorated the things can get when wickedness rules over the planet Earth, man. All right, and when you allow the wicked to have dominion over the planet Earth, and it tells you that through the rulership of the wicked, the people mourn. Okay, Revelation chapter 20, and this is at verse 2. It says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him no more. It's like it said a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. That's right. So that bottomless pit represents that region in the other part of the world, or Europe, because there were no resources that were coming in, and it's well documented that no resources could be found in that land. Okay, and that's why it was deemed as the bottomless pit. But like it says here in verse 2, it says that he laid hold on the dragon, the old serpent was the devil and Satan and bound him 1,000 years. So it was 1,000 years, a period, 1,000 year period, to where this man was brought down to the ground, man. He was basically his power was taken away from him, man. And that was during the time when our people came into rulership. That's why you had the Byzantine Empire, okay? You had the quote unquote Holy Roman Empire, all right, which wasn't so holy, okay? And at that time, that's when the power was being transferred from Esau over to Jacob, okay? So it's like going back to verse 2, it says, it's like, it says in verse 3 again, it says, and cast him to the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more until the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed for a little season. All right. And guess what? We're in that little season right now. Okay. This man only has so much time to rule. Okay. And to the point to where he is completely taken out, man. And that's why, like I read earlier in Second Thessalonians, is that this man was going to be destroyed with the brightness of the Lord's coming, man. Okay. So we're in that little season, man, because America hasn't been around that long, man. Okay. America, when you look at the years when America was first erected and was established its own independence as the USA, the United States of America, right? Is that during that time from 1776 all the way up until now, it's only been close to 300 years, man. Okay, so America hasn't been erected that long compared to the previous kingdoms that were set up, like the Babylonian Empire, the Medes, the Persians, okay, all the ones that were set up before time, all right, even the Greeks and the Romans, man, okay, when they were in power, or when those rulerships were erected, okay, their rulership went on for years and on top of years, man, okay, but this is the only place where this is the only place that you see today whose rulership is about to reach its end very short, man. So that's why the scriptures say he must be loose for a little season, okay? And there's another reason why he's loose for a little season, because the amount of wickedness that spews from this current kingdom, man, okay? And I believe that's it on that. Yeah, that's it on that. Go ahead and jump to the next precept. Um, this is the book of Revelations. I'm going to start at Revelation 11. I'm going to start at verse 9. Right, so again, we're in that little season. And also as well, that little season is about to come to a close, man. Okay? And and what you're seeing right now with the men of the Lord being set up through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemel Shai is showing you that this man's kingdom is about to be finished. Okay? So this is Revelation chapter 11, and I'm gonna start at verse like right. I'm gonna start at verse I'm gonna start at verse 6. Actually, I'm gonna start at verse 7. It's like it says, and when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them. Right. So during that time when they came back into power during the Renaissance, which the word Renaissance means rebirth. Okay. So during the time of the Renaissance, when Esau or Edom started to come back into power, is that's when you had through a process of time going all the way up to the latter part of the 1400s. You had the expedition of Cristobal Colon, which is known as Christopher Columbus. Okay, and through that expedition, all right, that's when the after that the transatlantic slave trade was conceived. Okay, why? Because when he came to that land, he basically wrote back to the king and queen, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, and in the letter which he wrote back to the king and the queen was that these people are peaceful people, all right. And when he said the people, he's talking about the so-called Native American Indians, because when he observed the so-called Native American Indians, he said, look, he wrote a letter back to the king and queen saying that these people can be overtaken. All right, these people are peaceful people, all right. He observed how they live, and he said that these people can be overtaken. You know, he didn't try to make any sort of, in between, so to speak, or make any sort of edicts, between him and them. No, the first thought in his mind was that these people can be overtaken. We can overtake them and bring them into captivity. Okay, which again, that's the nature of all these Edomites that you see, man. Okay, from the least to the greatest, man. That's why the Lord deemed them as the wicked. Again, going back to what I just read in Malachi, the first chapter. Okay, so again, right? It's like back in Revelation chapter 11, and I'm gonna start at verse 7 again. It says, "And when they shall finish their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." Okay, so this is the city right now where we're residing in. It's the city which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Okay, how do we know that? Because this place perpetuates sodomy, man, on a high level. This place actually rewards you on participating in sodomy. It rewards you in being wicked. It rewards you on going against Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. Okay, and also as well, it says that this place is also known, spiritually known as Egypt as well, is because the land of Egypt. If you read the scripture, it says that the land of Egypt was regarded as the house of bondage. Okay, and that's what you see today, man. Our people are still in bondage to this day. If you read it, I'll go to the book of Baruch. It tells you that. Actually, if I may, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it because it tells you that we are yet in this day in our captivity. Right? Let me see if I can get it real quick. It's like right. And while I'm looking for it, I'm gonna continue to speak. Um, so again, like I said, we're right now we are still under the captivity of this man. We're still under this captivity to basically serve our punishment. All right, because at the end of it, also tells you in the same book, in the book of Baruch, is that the reason why we went into captivity in the first place is because we went against the words of Yahweh by Shemel Shai. We went against the words of the Lord, and through that, guess what? We went to different captivities that were set up, man. And in this captivity, in particular, all right, this is going to be our last captivity. If you read not Song of Solomon, yeah, I believe it's Song of Solomon, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna see if I can get it real quick after this. It says that rejoice and be glad, or daughter of Jerusalem. All right, for this, basically roughly paraphrasing, it says that the cup shall pass from us, and it's going to be given unto Esau. All right, and it says rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, for the cup shall pass on over to you. Okay, it's like right. So it's back at the book of Baruch. It's like Here it is. Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. It says, behold, we are yet in this day, or we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord our power. See that? So we are yet in this day in our captivity, man. Okay? We're still in the captivity to this very day. It's because, again, like it says here, we are subject to payments. Okay? We're subject to basically paying to live. Okay? That's what we've been reduced to. We've been reduced to paying just to live, just to basically just operate on a daily basis, man. All right, because everything that you do, man, you basically you can't even live without having a bill under you, man, or having some sort of debt. Okay, and this place actually promotes being in debt. Okay, it promotes being in debt, and really when you go into it, just a side note or a little fact about currency, right? This man no longer deals in on the currency of gold and silver. Yeah, gold and silver is still a commodity in his world, but the things which are being used to process payments is the FRN notes, the Federal Reserve notes. Okay, basically it's set up as an IOU note. Okay, it's not backed by anything anymore. It was a time to where it was backed by actual substance, but now it's being backed by nothing. Thin air, man. It's just dollar bills. That's all it is. It's just play money, monopoly money. Okay, it's like checking on my phone here, make sure everything's good to go. But yeah, like I said, the currency being used today is is not real money. Okay, because back then, the commodity was actually metals, gold, silver, all right, bronze pieces, you know. But now the currency that's being run today is a currency again of debt because that's what the dollar represents. The dollar represents debt, okay, and that's why even to have some sort of dwelling or to basically to make certain specific purchases, you got to have credit, and credit is ran by what? Debt. Basically, putting yourself being indebted and putting yourself under captivity. All right, because that's what it means to really be under to be a servant. Basically, when you're a servant, you're indebted to something or indebted to someone. Okay, and that's what these people have reduced themselves toward. They reduce themselves to being servants of Esau. Okay, because when you put yourself in a position to have debt, basically you're putting yourself in a position to be a servant. Man. Okay, but this society specifically set it up to where you have no choice but to do that. You have no choice but to you know put yourself underneath the vibration of being, having a credit of some sort and being in debt, you know, and to make it to add insult to injury. Guess what? He even add usury on top of that, man. And this lets you know that this man is not fit to rule, man. Okay, he's not fit to rule the planet Earth, man. Look at how he's ruling it, man. Look how he's conducting the society today, man. Everything is dying because of this man. All right, everything is corrupting, everything is corroding, everything is dying at the hands of this man, Esau, man. Again, that's why he's been given the name Esau. Wasted away is he. Okay, but reading on, right? So again, back at Baruch chapter 3, and again at verse 8 again said, behold, we are yet in this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord our power. See, and it's giving you the reason why we went into captivity and why we're subject to payments. Okay? But going back to Revelation chapter 11, right? There's still more on this. I'm going to get this part of Revelation chapter 11, and I'm going to get the next precept. Also, back at Revelation chapter 11, this is at verse, it's like, right, this is at verse 9. It says, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. Now, again, just to add more to the point of this land being spiritually called Egypt, is that, and we always bring this out, is that basically the river that's separating America, all right, the majority of the part is on the western part, all right, and the least part is on the eastern part, which is indicative to the land of Egypt, because the land of Egypt was also divided in that same way. All right, the bigger part was on the western part of Egypt, and then the least part was on the eastern part of Egypt. Okay, and it's like, and it lets you know today that this land America, is the parallels between America and Egypt. All right, it's no longer a mystery now in this time to where you can't say America is anything else but Babylon the Great, man. All right, there's nothing in this world can that these people can bring to say that Babylon the Great is here, Babylon the Great is there. No, man, it's evident right now at this point in time that America is indeed Babylon the Great, man. Okay, why? Because Babylon, all right, when you go into the word Babel, it means what? Confusion. Okay, and that's what you have here in America today. It's nothing but great confusion. Okay, the confusion of the people, the confusion of the doctrines, all right, the confusion of the ideas, all right, the way of life, all right, even the confusion of nationalities, man. Okay, this land is known as what? As a melting pot, and it tells you also in the scripture that this place is known as the cauldron. Okay, and what you throw in the cauldron is a mix of all different types of ingredients, that you put together in this one cauldron, this one melting pot, all right, to make an invention of your own, to basically make a dish of your own. And guess what? The product of America being a part of this melting pot and being a part of the cauldron and being thrown into it. Guess what? What you get out of it is what? An American citizen. Okay. And in the case of our people, or especially the southern kingdom, what they call themselves what? African American. Okay. Which you're doing nothing but calling yourself a double Edomite. Okay. Which Africa and America are two names which came from Edomites, the so-called white people. All right, two so-called white people. Okay, which for one, America is named after Amerigo Vespucci, right? And the other one, which Africa, is Leo Scipio Africanus, which that's where you get Africa from. Okay, two Edomites. Okay, back in Revelation chapter 11, and this at verse again. It's like verse 9 again. It says, "And they are the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth." See that? So the people in the kindreds and tongues, all right, they see our dead bodies, man. They see us in the state that we're in today. But guess what? Are they now doing anything right now to this point to support the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans? The answer to that is no. All right, that goes into the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. Okay, if you read in the parable, it says that the dogs came and licked the sores of Lazarus. All right, and those dogs represents the other nations, man. So the other nations haven't given us no rest. And actually, if you read again in verse 8, actually verse 9, Salakia, it says, "And they are the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves." So right now, like it says here, it said they shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. All right, it's because when you put a dead body into a grave, you're giving that body rest. All right, that body, when you put somebody into the grave, you're actually giving them rest. You're giving them support. You basically, when you lay them in the ground, all right, basically, hey, there's no other way to put it. All right, you giving them rest. All right, in this land, America, man, there's no rest here, man. All right, There's no rest here for the people of the Lord. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Okay, the only rest that you're going to get is when we're in the kingdom, man. Okay, because as long as man is in rulership, and as long as this place is still in power, man, our people are not going to know rest until the kingdom is established, man. That's the only way. Okay, but yeah, reading on, it says it's like right, verse 10. It says, "And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth." And yeah, and that's the point. It says that then they that dwell on the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another. All right, and that's what you see, man. All right, these people are have celebrated the downfall of the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. And not only that, to add insult to injury, okay, they took an advantage of our people, man. Okay, they took an advantage of our people by extorting them, all right, and making merchandise of them. Okay, so that's why our people are looked at as a laughing stock right now, right? Because of it. Okay, so it's like off the place for a moment. Yeah, so Revelation chapter 11. Yep. Okay. So verse 11 again, chapter 11, verse 11. It says, "And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them." Right, you see that? So after 3 days and a half, right, in which those 3 days and a half represents what? Basically, 3 days represents 300 years. All right, and then half of that, all right, is 350 years. Okay, so during the process of 350 years, right, and when you do the math, all right, over 350 years ago, we were brought into captivity, man. All right, during the time of the 1600s. Okay, and then after that, uh, the spirit of life, like it says here, the spirit of life entered back into the men of the Lord, entered back into the men of Israel. All right, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Okay, and how do we know that? It's because that started by one of the previous elders, man, Elder Abba Bivens, man. Okay, Rabbah Abba Bivens, man. All right, and then from that point on, that's when you start to see the spirit of life entering into more of the men of the Lord, into more of the men of Israel who are seeking after Yahweh by Shemel Shah, man. Okay, so again it says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. All right, and that's what you're seeing right now, man. Great fear is falling upon them which see us, man. All right, them that see us and that are teaching this word, man. That's teaching this word in its entirety. Okay, why? Because they see the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemel Shah rested on us, man. Okay, they see the power of Yahweh by Shemel Shah being risen up on the planet Earth, man. And the men are making the way preparing the way for the return of our Lord, man. Again, it started with Abba Bivens, man. All right, when Abba Bivens started, right? He basically, and we know who he is, man, through the reincarnation. Okay, so when Abba Bivens was set up, all right, and he started teaching, all right, started bringing out prophecy, started prophesying the word. Guess what, man? That's when the spirit started to enter back into us, all right, because he was a forerunner of that, man. And it tells you that in the scriptures that the voice of the one that's crying in the wilderness, man, and that's preparing the way, all right. And that's the same voice that was crying in the wilderness is who? Abba Bivens, man. Once again, back in the wilderness, all right, crying and preparing the way for the Lord, man. All right, preparing that way, okay. In which Abba Bivens is indeed John the Baptist in the reincarnation, man. Okay, if you can receive it, those of you that believe, wholly believe in this word and believe in the doctrine, all right, Abba Bivens is John the Baptist, man. because due to prophecy. All right, the men of old that were back during the time of the ancient world, they're back again doing the same thing, and that's why the scriptures prophesied of John the Baptist and what he was going to do. And guess what? That happened once again. Okay, so again in Revelation chapter 11, and this is at verse. I'm sorry, verse 11 again. It says, "And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended unto heaven in the cloud, and their enemies beheld them." And that's pretty much it on that. I'm going to jump from there. I'm going to grab the last few precepts and close on now. So, yeah, so going from there, Sirach chapter 10, we'll start at verse 8. Right, so the book of Sirach chapter 10, and this is at verse, it's like, might be at the wrong one. It's like, Sirach chapter 10, verse 8, it's like, overlooked it. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, verse 8, it says, "Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another." All right? So as you can see, man, the power right now is being transferred from one people to another. And the reason why is because, again, through injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom right now is being translated from the people of Edom, all right, the Edomites, over to the people of the Lord, man, the Israelites. Okay? Like it says here, because of unrighteous dealings and riches got by deceit. Okay? That's the reason why the kingdom is being translated from one people to another, man. Okay? Because through this man and his rulership, all right, he's got riches through deceit. All right? He basically, performed or executed one of his attributes, man, which is what? Deception. Okay? And through that deception, guess what? He got riches. All right? Ill-gotten gain. Okay? And he gained the world, man. Okay? And again, like it says here as well, right? It's like, let me go back to it. Right, and as well, like it says here, it says unrighteous dealings and injuries. All right? Unrighteous dealings is what? Basically putting our people, all right, at the bottom. And yeah, this is systematic, man. Okay? No matter, what anybody come and say, this is systematic, man. This whole system was set up for the downfall of our people, man. This whole system was set up so that our people can be downtrodden, man. All right, it was set up for you to go off, man. Okay, and through that, they're basically trying to cut off the access between us and Yahweh Bashim Shai by doing that, man. Not knowing that, look, through Yahweh Shai, all right, and the sacrifice which he made, guess what? That way is being that way has been opened up to the man of the Lord. That way has been opened up to the Israelite once again, man. Starting with the elect. Okay. That is the trump card that the Lord has used to basically have it to where our people can go back to him, right? And go back to righteousness. Okay. Right. So again, in verse 8 it said, "Because of unrighteous dealings and injuries," right? And he has injured literally and spiritually and physically injured our people, man. Okay. How do we know that? Look at the state of our people. spirit is moving, man. But back in Sirach, yeah, that's it for Sirach chapter 10, verse 8. Now I'm gonna move on to the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 23. Right, it's the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and this is at verse 23. It says, "Thus he saith, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces." Okay, so this fourth beast, that fourth kingdom, and this one is speaking about the Roman Empire. But again, that Roman Empire has been brought back in the form of America, because if you read another prophecy in the book of Daniel, it tells you about the land which had two horns, or the beast that had two horns like a lamb, Salakia, and spake as a dragon. Okay, and that beast with the two horns that spake as a dragon is a representation of America. All right, and it also tells you in the scriptures that this is the eighth. All right, or when it speaks about the seven, I believe it speaks about the seven heads, roughly paraphrasing. It says this beast in itself is even the eighth and go into perdition. Okay, but the reason why it's not included within when I say included, I'm talking about basically being a part of that conglomerate, because the beast with the seven heads and 10 horns, all right, goes into NATO and the EU, and America only has so much to do with NATO and the EU, because the NATO and the EU operates on their own, all right, but they're all a part of that same beast. They're all a part of the same system. Even America, even a part of that same system. Okay, because this whole entire world is based off the Western world. It's based off the ways of the American life, or the American lifestyle. All right, so that's why America is also included in a way with that beast, and it tells you again, like it says in the scripture, that this is the eighth. He's even the eighth, and it goes into perdition. Okay, but chapter 7, and it's like Daniel chapter 7, and I'm gonna start at verse 13. It's like I'm in Hosea. It's like, right, it's the book of Daniel chapter 7, and this at verse 23 again. It says, thus he saith, the fourth shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. It shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and and other shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand, into a time and times, and a dividing of times. Okay, so like it says here, is that he shall think to change times and seasons, to wear out the saints of the Most High. That's why you had to go into a deep dive in a way to even figure out, what time we're in, man. All right, because even the year that we're in right now, 2021, it's not even 2021, man. Why? Because the calendar is off, man. Okay, and what he does is he manipulates the times to where he see fit. Okay, and that's why, and that's another reason why this man is being taken out of power, man. He even thought it in himself to change the times in the laws, man. All right, why? Because the Most High is the one who set up the laws and the times, man. He set up when the day draws on, when the day ends, man. He basically sets up the time that you see right now. But this man, in his pride, he thinks to change the times and the seasons the way he see fit. Because again, he's going back to that same spirit which is what? Him being exalted above all that's called the Most High, and sit it down as he is the Most High, man. Okay? So, again, Daniel chapter 7, and instead of verse 25 again, it said, he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and it shall be given into his hand, into a time and times and the dividing of times. And when you go into time and times and dividing of times, all right, time represents 100 years, times represents 200 years, all right, which makes up 300 in total, and then half a time represents those 50 years, man. Okay? And that's what you see right now. And so after those 350 years, right, now you see the spirit of the life of Yahweh Shemel Shai entering back into the men of the Lord, man. Okay, those 350 years have went by, man. And now you're starting to see the spirit of the Lord being risen back up through his men, man. Okay? But going on from there, right, I'm going to grab, I believe I'm going to grab this next precept, and I'm going to close it out on that. Revelation chapter 12, and this is at verse 14. Right, Revelation chapter 12, and this is at verse 14. It says, and to the woman were given two wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into a place. All right? And that woman that was given that wings of a great eagle, that represents us being brought here, man. Okay? Because it tells you that we're going to be nourished, right? It's like it, I didn't read it yet. But it says we're going to be fleeing to the wilderness, into the place. And it says where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And who's that serpent? That serpent represents Esau, right? The so-called white man. Okay? And the serpent casts out his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he may cause her to be carried away of the flood. Okay? And that's what happened during the time of 70 AD. Because after 70 AD, we fled the Roman onslaught. Okay? And that flood, which represents those armies, came after us, man. But guess what? If you read on, right, it says, verse 16, it says, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. All right, and who's that remnant? The men of the Lord. Okay, that's the remnant that's talking about, which when it speaks about the remnant of her seed. Okay, because the remnant, that's who the real enemies of the elites really are, man, of the so-called elites. Okay, the real enemies are us, man. Why? Because we have gained knowledge that's been kept back from our people for so long, and we actually have we have the access to Yahweh Shemel Shah through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Okay, and we're the ones who are really the biggest threat to this man's system. Okay, why? Because we actually have the truth. We have the true words of Yahweh Shemel Shah, and this is a threat to his kingdom, man. Okay, the reason why this is a threat to his kingdom is because this word is bringing down his kingdom, and it's showing you who this man really is. Again, going back to him running away from his nationality, because when he runs away from his nationality, basically he's prolonging, all right, his rulership, and really he's prolonging his judgment, man, making it trying to make it last however long that he can, man, because he know that his system is going down and his kingdom is about to be uprooted. Okay, yeah, but that's it on that. I want to grab one last precept, Isaiah chapter 59, and I'm said verse 19. So like you, yeah, made that my last precept. Isaiah chapter 59. So like, bear with me. Right, Salakia chapter, Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. Leave them here. Yep, here it is. Right, the book of Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. All right? And the reason why I brought this scripture out is because through through that act or that event that took place during the time of 70 A.D., our people were fleeing the Roman onslaught. They were fleeing from that flood, man. All right, and during that time, like the scriptures say, the earth helped the woman. Okay, but guess what? Our help in this time today, with the flood that's about to come upon our people once again, all right, that the help is going to come from who? Yahweh Shemiel Shah. Even King David even said that his help comes from the Lord, man. All right, and we're a part of that house, man. We're a part of the house of David, which Lord's will, we're a part of that number, man. We're a part of the men that are written in the book of life, man. All right, the elect of the nation of Israel, man. Okay, so again, our help is going to come from Yahweh Shemiel Shah this time, man. All right, through the new flood that's going to come, okay, which first is going to come by way of the troops, right? And the Lord is going to lift up that standard, okay, and all the way up to the point to where the Lord is going to deliver us from the destruction, which is going to be set for the destruction of Babylon the Great, which is going to come by way of thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay, and that's the judgment that's set for America today, man. That is set for these people that are living lavishly, all right, that are living with no cares in this world, and not knowing that the Lord Yahweh Shemiel Shah is in the midst, man. Okay, and He's working right now, man. He's right now He's working in the midst of these people. He's allowing certain things to happen, and guess what? In the time to come, these people are going to realize that the words that we've been bringing out are going to come to pass, and they're going to realize that these words are true. Okay, because like it says in the scripture as well, that the Lord Yahweh Shemiel Shah is not a man that should lie. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close on that note. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, also double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. They continue to rule very well to this very day. All right, that's continually feeding the plot to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shah. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders that still hold fast to this word, man. And also much due honors, shalom, salutations to the hope elect as well that's continuing to labor in His work, and do labor and continuing to fight for salvation, continuing to fight to bring back the elect of the nation of Israel, to establish His word and judgment, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shah. And with that, let's say shalom, DTA, get to America. And a Bob a ball. Soon.